Well, as you can see, I had a slight failure in my plans. Yeah, the weight of the tractor, when you back it in, this is a 2x10 floor, every 12-inch on center, and double planks. So it's a heavy floor. It's heavy enough. It's a 10,000-pound tractor. No problem supporting it. We've been backing in here for 23 years with it. So the problem is it does flex the floor. So what I got to do is get those realigned now that the tractor's outside. And then I got to go upstairs where I was going to bolt it. Right now it's C-clamped, but as you can see, it holds it up. I'm going to actually put just a bracket over it so it will float, so that it will be supported, so it can't move, you know, horizontally, you know, or vertical, however you want to call it. It can't move out of plane, but it can move up and down in a slip joint. So that's something's going to have to be taken care of. And anyway, I'll show you here what I got planned here in a little bit. This is my movable guide solution. This is the 1.5 inch that's upstairs. It'll slide up through there. This is a piece of 2-inch 3/16. I only had this, like, it weren't even 4 inches. It was 3 and something. And I cut it in 2. I'm gonna go ahead and weld her on there. And I don't know if this welding rod here will burn or not. It got wet last night. We'll see. I don't believe in throwing stuff away if it'll work, so we'll find out. Whoop. Guess I didn't move it. Thought I did. Yeah. It only takes a few seconds to get the moisture out of it. Beautiful. I ran out of flux. They don't weld when you run out of flux. Man, I'll go get me the other rod. Beautiful. That's all we need. I'll let that cool, and I'll drill a couple of holes for a 1/4 inch bolt on each side, and I'll probably put a couple of small holes for drywall screws. And while I'm doing my adjustment, I'll have just drywall screws, and once I get it where I really know I want it, then I'll go ahead and I'll bolt it, and that'll take care of that. So when I get these drilled and we get upstairs, I'll show you what I'm doing up there. Well, this right here is what I came up with. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to hold it with drywall screws. I already put up one. It's kind of hard to see it up there, but it's up there, and seems to work good. But I can move a little in it, which is fine. So I'm going to take that C-clamp up there off, and I'm going to install the other one on this side. I'm not going to film it because I have all I can do to kind of stand on this precarious rail. I run my head up against that there. It's just the right height so I can hold myself on my head. And that frees up my arms. So I should be able to get it all right, but I won't be able to film it while I'm doing it. So anyway, we'll bring you back here when this stuff's all together. Anyway, everybody, that's what it looks like. It's screwed on with 4 of those deck screws. And anybody that's ever tried to pull them out with a claw hammer knows they should hold that. It's just a static, you know, static load there, nothing major. And anyway, I'm going to go down below now, and I got to level everything up since when it picked up last night, everything got askew. See if we can't get down here. So I'll see you downstairs. Hello everybody, it's been 3 days since I started this project. I just, hectic days, you know, sometimes you just don't get there. But this is the type of fixture I put in. I like metal ones in the barn. You know, it's all grounded, done the way it's supposed to be. 12 wire, 20 amp. And took up my slack around the beam so it's not a mess. Later on I'll staple this up so it doesn't pull on the motor up there all the time, and give it a little slack. But that's nothing needs to be done now. So anyway, yeah, it's hot up here. Jeez and crow. I just finished that one out and it's like, holy cow. You go down here and it's probably maybe 80, but it ain't upstairs. So this is what I've got. I got a little sub panel. I got 2 20 amp breakers here I put in, and got my tails hanging out. Of course, years ago you could put your neutral and your grounds together. Now you have to have all your neutrals on one side, your grounds on the other. And of course you always want your black to be hot. I'll tell you a funny thing happened in Maine here. A long time ago, probably 20, geez, it might have been close to 30 years ago. There was a kid that was outside playing in a pool with other siblings and relatives or something. Don't know the whole particulars, but I know the gist of the story. They were playing hide and seek. The kid gets in behind, I believe it was a sofa. I think that there was baseboard radiation there. Of course, there's your ground. And the guy had hooked up a light switch where he had put the switch on the neutral, so that the hot had gone from the box, gone down to the outlet, and then it had gone from the outlet back to the switch, the neutral had, and then grounded. So it worked fine as far as throwing the switch on. Well, there weren't any lights on, of course, because the switch weren't on. But that kid got down there with a wet bathing suit and got electrocuted and killed, because that outlet was live all the time. And I almost think it had something to do with maybe the neutral was the one that he had fed in, and the outside of the lamp was live. There was something there where he didn't have the right wires hooked up right. And I'm very adamant about, you know, you don't want power where you don't want it to go, and you don't want it back feeding. And you know, I run black and white. White's ground, black is hot. This way everybody, that's the standard. And of course the back of your outlets, for those of you who have never done it here, I'll find one. You know, this side over here is gold. That is your hot. And the side that is silver or white is your ground. And you know, it's pretty straightforward. Most of them are marked on the back. I don't know if this one is or not, but yeah, that right there says hot wire on that side, and this says ground wire only. So anyway, that's your neutral. So yeah, you got to make sure you hook them up right. You can get into trouble. And, you know, most of the time 110 will just give you a tingle. But boy, if you get it in the wrong way across your heart, it'll kill you dead in hell. And I'm pretty careful of it. I've got hit with 220 and I don't like it at all. And I'm lucky probably to be alive. But anyway, just never happened to have it stop my heart. So anyway, I'm pretty careful. And you know, I'll show you this one here before I put it into the wall once I get it hooked up, because this one here is a little more involved. I'll show you how I do the ground, and not by any means a tutorial on how to do electrical. I'll just show you how I'm doing it. I'm not a licensed electrician, so, but I'll show you. I like to do the grounds right, and I do it as careful as I can. So I'm going to get this kind of going along here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So anyway, get your stickers everywhere, damn things. So this is a 20 amp breaker. It's got the ground will go either direction, and says right on them 20 amp. There is a difference. If you want a heavy duty plug, get the good ones. They don't have the push in. This one here doesn't. This one's got clamps only, which I prefer. So you buy these good covers that are good for a band because they're rugged, you know. But these won't go in. So what you have to do is you have to pull this set of bolts out. Just pull them out like so. And then take your small pair of pliers and just kind of wiggle that off like so. Where that's scored, it'll break right there. And then once you get all that garbage gone, then that'll fit right in there. And you can see, you take one of the supplied screws and you put that right together. And you want to do that before you get all the wiring done, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to do after the wiring. Don't ask me how I know that, but I've been there. Yeah, I got to go get a smaller screwdriver. Anyway, I'll be right back. Yeah, so anyway, that other screwdriver was just a touch big on the end. But you get them two screws in, get them snugged right up. There we go. Now you got your whites for the silver side, your blacks for the gold side, and you've got your neutral or ground. It's actually ground, not neutral. There is a difference. So anyway, we'll see if I can't get you over here. Tractor's in here today, so it's a little tight, but anyway. So you can actually use your jackknife, you know, to strip these, but I prefer to use a pair of these type here. As long as you don't go too small, you won't ring the copper, which I've never had one break, but I've heard of other people say that they've seen it, so I'm pretty careful about it. And strip off about a ½ inch long. So basically, as long as your thumb is on it, to hold the clamps on the back side. I should have had you on the other side here where you could see, because I'm right-handed. Hang on a minute, I'll get you in a better position. Yeah, so anyway, so there's your gold. That's your hot. And they're down, so you can take two of them babies. It's quite simple, you know. And actually ought to have the Phillips, that works better, but anyway, it don't matter. So make sure they're pretty damn tight. They're both hung right there. And I always snug up the other side because I don't like stuff rattling around. I like stuff to be tight. Just give it a little. And then the other side, you got to push that in. And I'll tell you, the breaker end isn't hooked up on this. So this power is off. That's one thing. I know guys that wire hot. I don't do it. I might hook up the box there, the breaker in the box hot. But I don't work in outlets and stuff hot. If I had that hooked up, I'd make damn sure I'd have a light meter out here and I'd make damn sure that this was off. Because it's not worth taking a chance. I know I had a light switch off. I was working on the back side of a light switch once. The light had been working there, but I was replacing a fixture. And my father, not thinking, walked in. This is dark in here, ain't it, boy? And he threw the switch on. And I was just head to hot. And I was sitting on a metal sink, and I had it right bare finger, just twisting it together, getting ready to put the wire nut on. Now, I want to tell you, that was the hardest hit I ever got off 110. Boy, that set me up and gave me a whole new respect for that stuff. But anyway, I survived it. My father felt bad. You know, one of them things just happens. So. Now when you fold that up in there, always make sure that this neutral is on your, or the ground is on the neutral side. Because, you know, you get it on the other side, you could hit the power over there. And there's plenty of wire here, a lot more than you need. But I always like to have a lot, and then later on, if you want to cut something and redo it, you can. I know my father's house, whoever wired it back 50 years ago, boy, they didn't leave any extra. They just enough to do the fixture. And his have been replaced so many times over the years that some of the wire breaks once in a while when you're handling it. And then it's a problem. You got to pull wires in the wall. Anyway, it's a mess. So, yeah. So, not much to these receptacles. But. So, that's all there is to that. And, yeah. Up or down makes no difference. That's up to personal preference. And I'll tell you, if you don't know a lot about electricity, you know, these lugs over here are all hot. This up here is all hot on top. I don't recommend you doing it if you're not real familiar with it, because it's quick. You can't just go in and tap it and not get a shock, you know. It's it'll bite you. This is 220, so it'll hit hard. All roof's creaking when the sun goes out or comes out. But I've got to be careful here, because this wire here has got twists in it sometimes. Beautiful. So, that neutral and that neutral. Need to go over here. Yeah, I got one right there. Let's see here what we need. It's going to be something like that right there. Let's see, now we'll go down underneath them hearts. Right there, like so. Like I say, this is not a tutorial how to do it, it's how I do it. And oh yeah, neutrals are all set, our grounds are all set. Now we'll take the two neutrals, we'll get a pair of pliers, bring those over to here, then we'll go right in about there. Open up two of those. Beautiful. So, where are the ones I loosened up? Right there. There we go. There, now, being very careful not to get into the hot stuff here. Trying to push that stuff in back out of the way. And all we got left to do, and I always try to leave a little extra in case you want to move stuff later. Oh, let's see here. That's off. Good. Yeah, you want to make sure them are off too, because I'll tell you something else you can do too. Very, very easily. If you're nervous about that, you can take that off and stick that right in there where you can see and snap it right back in. Tuck that right in there. That's an easy way to do it. It's almost easier than doing it the other way. Just make sure when you reach down with your thumb you don't get down onto that metal. Guess got to loosen that one a little bit. There she goes. All right. Get that screwdriver out of the way before I short something out. Now, I haven't hooked up one of these, and I'm not sure which. I want to make sure if this ain't touching the ground or something. You know, I better. I'm gonna strip off a piece of this. Well, I ain't even got my damn knife. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I did. Just make sure that nothing gets hit. So I'm not sure which one of these breakers goes to this system or goes to that wire. I got the two different lines. So nothing tripped off. That's a good sign. Go up here in the hot box. So that should have power up there. Look at that. Perfect. Now I can throw this extension cord down. We're going to stop this electrical work. I just, I don't know if you heard there when I was putting that wire nut on. There's thunder here and here, so I don't do electrical in thunderstorms, you know. I mean, I just don't do it. So anyway, I gotta put my cover on. I gotta break another couple tabs out of there. I'll put that on. I'll do that off camera though. And yeah, so if you do any electrical wiring, all I can say is keep the power off. And if you do it hot, it's at your own discretion, and don't blame me. I mean, you gotta be, this stuff is dangerous. I can't stress it enough. You know, so yeah, so this outlet here and the one up top are hooked to the same wire, and the other one over there is going to be on its own. That way, if I want to run a table saw or something, which I do a lot. Right now, the nearest plugs I've got are way over on that wall. I don't even know where. You'll just see one there on that 6x. And I have to crawl through all that shit with an extension cord. Yeah, we're going to get a thunderstorm. Leaves are turning. Yeah, I'll have to look on the phone here, see what this looks like. But I'd say we're going to get some weather. Come on. So, we got a local radar here. We'll see here what we got coming. Huh. Don't really show much. I'll enlarge that here for a second. Yeah, so, oh yeah, we're the little blue dot. So we're just about to get hammered. Just going to catch the edge of it. But, yeah, I'm going to shut this door up here. And, boy, I think that's it for this. You know, I hope maybe something was educational and helpful to you. Yeah, we've thrown up a couple boxes on it and ran them up and down. They went up and down good. Seemed to handle a load. So I'm going to call it a success. We'll talk to you later.